slashers and scream queens, and welcome back to the Horror Daddies Podcast and YouTube channel.
A podcast where we talk about horror movies
and the daddies in them.
Who are you?
I'm the Horror Daddy Carlos.
And I'm your film daddy John. What the fuck is that?
They love me.
I
What
guess.
can I say? So, today we are talking about the very... I don't know how I was going to say this, but the movie that I've been waiting a long time to see.
The most anticipated film of 2022.
Yeah, the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies that we're still waiting for.
Jurassic World. So Scream 5.
Scream
Or-
motherfucking 5.
Scream with a slash.
Or just Scream.
Or just Scream.
Because we were right, motherfuckers. We were right.
The formula is there. So, Scream 5 cream, whatever.
We just left the theaters.
Yeah.
We just got here.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're still,
I'm still
recovering.
So I usually, when we do the podcast, I usually like to watch the movies one or twice.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I can.
Like we used a week in order to write down shit. Yeah.
Unfortunately, couldn't do that today. So it's not gonna be like a regular episode. We might just be here just going from the beginning to the end to the middle, back to the end, back to the beginning, back to the middle.
We're gonna get hype about some moments, talk about other moments, go on rants. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. But also, if we miss something, it's fine. You saw the movie.
But let us know. Yeah, if we miss anything that you guys thought we should have mentioned. But I'm gonna forget things. It's my first time watching it, which is why we'll probably do a commentary track later on when it comes out.
Oh, that'd be so great. And we want to do a ranking video
for all 5 of them.
because we finally saw all of them.
This one did.
That's true. For the first time,
Yeah.
I just finished. Yesterday, I watched the 4th one. So
Still my favorite. So, directors, because there's 2 directors, directed by Matt Bettinelli and Open and Tyler Gillette. Which are known for directing Ready or Not. Yes. Awesome movie, love it. And one of the VHSs, I think they had one of the shorts were from them.
I think the first one. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the very first one.
Yeah, in the first VHS. And then also written by James Vanderbilt. Returning characters, we have Neve Campbell, obviously Sidney, David Arquette, Dewey.
My God, I love her.
Courtney Cox, Gail Weathers, Riley.
Mm-hmm. Not with her fucked up hair. She had normal hair now.
She looked good in this movie. And I mean, she didn't have fucked up hair in the 4th one. It's been a while. It's been 20 years.
It was the 3rd one. That's right. I forgot. She was normal looking in the 4th one. I was watching that 3rd one and I was like, why are people making such a big deal? She just has really small bangs. But then there's angles that I'm like, ooh.
What happened was, I think she said that they had taken her hair, like the bangs part, and they just did this.
Yeah, I could tell.
Without thinking about it.
I could tell.
Yeah. She does make a reference to the bangs when Dewey's watching her on TV. She's talking about bangs and she said something slick about it. That was pretty funny. And Marley Shelton, who plays deputy or sheriff now, Judy, with this awesome cast. These kids did amazing.
Yes, this new
a
cast,
lot of them
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I loved every single one of them.
So we have Melissa Barrera, who is Sam Carpenter.
She's great.
We have Jenna Ortega, who's Tara Carpenter. They are sisters. Mm-hmm. We have Dylan Minette, who is Wes Hicks. He is the son of Judy and also seems to have a crush on Tara. We have Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding, who is Mindy Meeks Martin and Chad Meeks Martin, nephews of
Randy's sister. Or I'm sorry,
nephews of Randy, who's obviously their mom is Randy's sister.
That we see her in the 3rd one.
Yes,
in the 3rd one, yes, because she's the one that gives them the VHS. Yeah.
And I knew she was gonna be in this one because when the movie first started filming, they caught her ass on
set.
On set, and it was on Instagram. That shit got deleted mad quick. But I was like,
it's slick. You thought you was slick.
We have Jack Quaid, who plays Richie Kirsch. He is the love interest of Samantha.
Yeah, the main character.
Yeah, her boyfriend.
He's from The Boys, which is one of his most famous. He's in a lot of stuff too.
Yeah.
But that's
He's also been my background since these posters
day
got
one.
released.
Yeah,
and we'll get there. So Kyle Gallner, who plays Vince Schneider. Vince is Stu Macher's nephew.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
which I didn't know that.
Yeah, no.
It was mentioned briefly in the movie, and if you missed it, you're gonna be like, why was he this guy in the movie?
Kind of like his role.
So spoiler. Well, wait. I'm just so excited. Sonia Amar, who plays Liv Mackenzie, Heather Matarazzo, who plays Martha Meeks, obviously Randy's sister, and then we have Mikey Madison, who plays Amber Freeman.
My God, I love her.
Yes, you did.
She is fantastic. She looks so much like that girl from the Queen's Gambit and all that. I forgot her fucking name.
Anya
Frankie
Taylor?
knows her name.
Yeah,
Frankie, if you're watching, comment it down below.
Yeah. So, this movie,
what were your feelings?
So I was super excited to go. I was super hyped this whole week. I've been trying to avoid Twitter and Instagram. It's been very hard. Nothing got spoiled for me except one thing, but I knew it was happening because I listened to the soundtrack and I heard a certain song and I was like,
you look so sad. So we were at work and I look at him because he's like kind of next to me, and I look at him, he looks really sad. And then when we're on our way home, he goes, Jonathan, I need to admit something. And he just tells me, and then we both got really sad.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys know when that moment happened. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. It's very obvious in the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, it's so there. Even the title of the song.
I will say this movie was very, very good. I did like it as a sequel, requel, which I said it since day one.
Day one, we literally said that was a trend, and they even quote the fucking movies that we were talking about.
The one thing they didn't do, which we'll get there, and
we'll get there.
Hashtag we will get there. But I will say that I still prefer 4 over this one.
Ooh, we're doing controversial ranking takes now.
Maybe.
You want to? You want to?
I get, do it? But hey. Before anyone attacks me, it's my first time watching it. Maybe on a second watch, third watch, whatever. Opinions change over time, but I kind of walked out and I was like, I think 4 was still. Like, I feel like, because 4
you want to just do rankings right now?
No. I feel like 4 was so ahead of its time that you could have done 4 today and it would have still made sense.
Yeah.
Even with and this one could have came out next year and it would make sense.
It's like I left on my review on Letterboxd. If you didn't like it originally, watch it again. Like, watch it now
and
if you haven't
attention.
seen it in a while. Yeah, and it's great. It's a great movie.
But Scream 5, very good. The kills were awesome. Ghostface,
so good.
Was fucking gruesome. Did not give a fuck. The shots of Ghostface in this movie have not been done. There were shots of him that I was like, this is winning my heart.
I am kind of mad that they took one of them out. I was very upset. We'll get there.
And what did you think?
I honestly, I saw the 4th one yesterday, so I was very excited. Like, I got out from work. We got out early, and I couldn't sleep because I was like, oh my god, like I need to watch this movie. And I got a few things spoiled. Oh, it wasn't like big major things. So there's some motherfuckers. Okay, that y'all be complaining about. Don't post any spoilers, and y'all the motherfuckers liking shit on Twitter the day that you that you watch the movie. So shame on you, and you're probably listening as well. Okay,
maybe. So,
but I love this movie. I honestly thought very well written. I think they definitely made Wes Craven proud with this. Like, I think it still feels like a Wes Craven movie. You can tell that the hard work that they put in, they definitely kept Wes Craven into every little bit of the writing process, the filmmaking process, everything. They definitely kept him like in their thoughts. Every character was extremely likable. Like, even the asshole ones, you're kind of really good at being an asshole. And there was no characters that I was like frustrated about. Like, I really enjoyed every single one's performance. Everyone that came back, you could tell that they cared. I was very, very fucking happy. Like, very happy.
There's one that died and you're like, why? And I was like, I don't know. It just made me upset. I wanted to see them more.
Like, the one character that doesn't really have a character, and you're like, that one really got to me.
I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, we can't have them all, you know?
So, the opening of this movie. Okay, we're going to jump in. So, if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
I don't know. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Huh? Well, come later.
So, the opening of this movie is kind of like Casey Becker's opening. We have Tara Carpenter. Tara Carpenter, Jenna Ortega. She's
the character's name, okay?
The character's Tara, played by Jenna Ortega.
So Tara is our opening kill.
Yeah. From the trailer.
Yeah.
It's
literally just the trailer. It's like a little bit longer. That's it.
Honestly, the trailer didn't show much. Most of the trailer was the first 30 minutes.
But the trailer did show us the ending.
It did.
It did show us the ending. Literally the ending.
Yeah. But we didn't know what was happening or who was doing it. Anyway.
Such a good job. Oh, that trailer literally is so good because they literally didn't show shit, and that was like the only trailer until like the day before the movie released.
Yep.
So crazy.
The marketing for this movie was perfect. So some of you need to learn a lesson, Blumhouse.
Jesus.
Anyways, so it opens up with her. She's texting Amber. I guess Amber's coming over. Mom's not home. And she starts getting the phone starts ringing, and Amber's like, "Oh, you think it's Wes?" And she answers the phone because it doesn't stop ringing. And then we have this guy like calling, asking for the mom, I guess.
Yeah, and like you can't tell at first because it's like a normal guy,
but at the same time he has like a Ghostface voice.
It's like that raspiness.
But it's not the full voice yet. He's kind of like talking normal, but it was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I really liked?
What?
Later in the movie, you see that he turns on his voice changer, and I was like, "You've never seen that."
Yeah, no, it's true.
And
I was
great.
very happy with that. Okay, but we'll get to there.
Yeah, so he starts talking to her, kind of like asking her question, and then she's telling her that her mom would be so proud of her because she's like an artist.
Yeah, so it was pretty much that the mom goes to some sort of like group meeting, so they don't know if it's like a like those group anonymous, so maybe Alcoholics Anonymous, whatever. So she doesn't know, and she keeps asking questions.
I
and
think
he's
it's
like,
alcohol.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, "Oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything," and then she's like, "Oh, that you're really creative, that you love horror movies," and she's an A24 hoe, like she loves Babadook.
Yeah, that's her favorite movie. Yep. So it's kind of like this commentary on like the kids nowadays. They're watching like these movies of elevated horror because that's what they mention, and it's so cool how we see like the difference of like now in 2021 the younger generation, they know all these new movies. They don't really know the OGs unless they have parents that are like fans of the OGs. And
yeah, because she's like dissing on the old ones.
Yeah,
too.
she's like, it's mainly Stab.
Well, yeah, because the Stab is the Scream. So he's Ghostface thing is the Stab series. He's obsessed with it. So as soon as he mentions Stab, she goes, "Oh, I don't like those trashy like horror movies. Yeah. It's just a jump scare, and there's always one guy that's someone that you know."
Yeah.
And Ghostface is like, "Bitch, that ain't the fucking elevated horror. Isn't the only type of horror. Like this is what our movies is what made this elevated horror walk pretty much." So.
And then he's like, "Oh, you should love these Stab movies. You live in Woodsboro." And he said he says something to her, and he says her name, which is when she freaks out because she never mentioned her name to him, and she hangs up. And then
she's talking to her friend Amber on the phone, but she's not responding. So, but then Ghostface calls back again and goes, "If you call the cops or anything, Amber dies."
But before she answers the phone, Amber says, "Answer the phone."
Oh yeah, that's true. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, but I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna wait before we mention the killers. So then, yes, Ghostface. She answers the phone. She gets a video. Basically, Ghostface like, "Oh look, I see Amber, and if you don't answer,"
she's like doing her makeup, and he's looking through the window.
And I looked at him, and I'm like, "It's Amber."
Yeah, it was like literally. We both looked at each other, and he was like, "It's Amber," and I'm like, damn, it's true though. Like it that opening scene just tells you who it is. So it's like. But we're like, still holding on
because it's like it's also
theories.
like super obvious. But I'm like, it's her.
Yeah, and she gave me the very Billy vibes. So she's like, she's hot and she's very mysterious and dark, So, but I was like still holding on to hope, hoping Stu will show up at the end. So
I know,
who knows, So as soon as I saw that. A little sus after that.
The whole movie.
Yeah, but it goes off just like the trailer. What he does is ask 3 questions, and if you get them wrong, then Amber dies.
So I do like the questions because the questions were like, who was the final girl in the original Stab? So she goes and she gets it, Sidney Prescott. Then she goes, who wrote the original book?
Well, no, he goes, because she says, I don't like the stab movies, so I don't fucking know these questions. Ask me something about like Hereditary or some shit like that. And I'm like, of course. And then he goes, I think you'll be fine. Who's the final girl in the stab series? And then he's like, Sidney Prescott. He's like, you see, you'll do great. And okay, first question. Sure. And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So one of the questions is, who is the writer of the original stab series, which was Gail Weathers?
Yeah, she says that weather lady.
Yeah.
And but she gets it.
What was the other question?
The other question is, Gail Weathers. Oh my God, what was the second? I know the third one. I just don't remember the second one. The third one was who was the killer of the original killer.
Oh, Billy Loomis.
She says Billy. Well, the middle one I don't fucking remember. I don't either. But
anyway, that was a middle question. We just don't remember right now.
Yeah, but the third one was who was the original killer, which tricks her ass, and
again
she goes Billy Loomis, and she's like, "Fuck you, I got it right, you motherfucker," and she's super glad, and he goes wrong. And she's like, no, what the fuck? I got it right. And he's like, no, it's Billy Loomis and Stu Macher. There were two killers. And,
yes, and I'm like, there's always two.
Yep. And she's like, no, ask me again. But she grabs a knife and she goes, I'm on my way. How far does she live? I don't know.
I think they might have been neighbors. But
I think they did, right?
She had to live a little far because Stu's house always seems so far. Oh, sorry. Well, Amber lives in Stu's house.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I mean, we know. You were warned.
You watched it. We watched it.
And you were warned. So Stu's house to me always seemed very isolated.
Yeah, because it has like a forest and everything.
Yeah, so I thought she had to run a little bit, but she was going to do it. But as soon as she opens the door, he slashes her. She punches the fuck out of him.
Oh, yeah. She was fighting back.
Yeah, and then she closes the door, and this is when they do the whole door thing. Door open, door closed,
Which it was so tense. Like, even in the trailer, I was like, fuck, like, that's so scary to me in that situation. Oh, and they always play with corridors. Yeah. Like, you always have that, in the trailer we saw, wasn't there a picture where Ghostface was like in the door frame?
So yes, I think he was.
Okay.
I think the Ghostface was already in the house because in the background, her kitchen, there's two door entries and they're both super dark.
But one is like an empty room that's all dark, and then the other one is like a long hallway.
Yeah, and behind the one to her to my right, you kind of see a silhouette with a little white on top, and it looks like Ghostface. And they do this a lot in this movie where they have like jackets or something hanging, and you think he's there, and it's not, and it's not him. Mm-hmm.
And they always do that where, you know, a lot of jump scares is like they cover the background with a door, and then when they open it, like something's there but nothing's there.
Yeah.
And it's they do it throughout this entire movie, which is cool because like the jump scares, like even though they're like super cheap, like the really cheesy jump scares, it is part of the Scream series.
I think it's making fun of itself. Like they know what they know what,
and it's like a reoccurring thing. Every movie does it. So
So she does call the cops, and Ghostface is stabbing. And this Ghostface is when she or he stabs, they stab and fast, and they don't care. But the cops show up. He goes up one more time. I guess that's when he slashes, and we get the logo. And we now meet her sister Sam and her boyfriend Richie, and she's taking some pills. It seems like she has some type of anxiety or depression.
Yeah, it's not really stated. Like they never mention it. It's just she just does it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. It seemed more like an anxiety that she had, and she gets a phone call from Wes saying that her sister was attacked. And but she's alive, so that's when they both head over to Woodsboro because she doesn't live there anymore.
He's super hesitant to even say that Ghostface was back. Like he's literally like, just get over here. It's better to explain it here. And she's like, no, can you fucking tell me?
Yeah.
And because anxiety probably. And he's like, she said the killer was wearing a motherfucking Ghostface costume.
And then Richie didn't kind of want to go with her, but then he still ended up going. And so I'm gonna. Where do I want to go with this? So Tara's in the hospital.
Yeah.
And her friends are there because before this, her friends, they kind of do the whole fountain scene.
Yeah, like the very popular the very first scene with all of them together.
Yeah, but they're at school and they're on these benches. They're not at the fountain, and this is when the whole group gets together. They're talking about what happened. And this is when it's kind of everyone's kind of like we're trying to see like who's the sus because it has to be one of them.
Yeah.
And it
always it couldn't just be a random motherfucker in school. It's always the group of friends.
They should do that one time. It's like one of the random ones.
Yeah.
And you just like, where the fuck were you the whole movie? Exactly. So this is where we establish the friendships, the who has who with what. Liv and what's his name? Chad are together.
Yeah.
And then she dated the guy
it's a guy that Quentin.
He plays Quentin in A Nightmare on Elm Street, Vince.
Yeah, Vince.
So
yes.
they make him seem like this red herring, like this bad boy.
Yeah, he's like in the background, like waving at them and spitting on the fucking ground.
And I'm like, boy, you didn't even get a poster.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not fooling anybody.
Boom. Roasted.
So they all decide to go see Tara at the hospital, but Liv stays behind, and I'm like, suspicious, but too obvious. It can't be you. You're the red herring of this movie.
And the red herrings in this movie, they're very well done. Because even until the very end, I was still thinking who the killer was. Like even though at one point I was like, okay, this is obvious.
Yeah,
but it still had me questioning, like who and like. It still got me at the end. Yeah. Like, it really surprised me. So
the one of them. The other one, I was like, is this girl?
Yeah.
So they go see her. They're all surrounding her. This is when Sam shows up. And Sam and Tara don't have this very well of a relationship.
They obviously don't get along.
And we come to find out that the reason Sam had left was because she found out that her father... And this is the big thing. Why she's back in Woodsboro and why the killer's bringing everyone back. That she is the daughter of Billy Loomis.
Billy Loomis is back, baby.
Yeah, so throughout this movie, Sam sees like these ghost figures of Billy, like guiding her.
Yeah, it's like an original costume with the white shirt covered in blood. His hair's all crazy, and he's de-aged. Yeah, de-aged, which I was fine with until the end. He looked a little kind of fucked up. It's because he's grown.
It wasn't the fact that what he looked like. I get why they de-aged him.
I see what you mean. They kind of made it look like good.
Like he was helping her.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Yeah, because like so every time we see him, he's always like, don't hide from who you are. Yeah. Like, it's pretty much like following my footsteps because he's a fucking serial killer.
So, yeah, and she's like, I don't want to be like him. That's why she left town because she just didn't want to turn out like her father.
When she found out, she's like, okay, I need to separate from everyone.
Yeah, because her mom, I guess, had an affair with Billy while she was with Tara's father. So then she kind of told him like, hey, I'm pregnant with you. So, the dad obviously stayed with them. And then they ended up having actually their first daughter, Tara. And then Sam found out. Sam did find out through diaries because she went up in the basement. She found out through diaries that Billy was her father. She threw it in her mom's face, and that's when the dad, I guess, was behind her during this argument. And then he ended up leaving, so she blames herself of why the dad left,
breaking up the family.
That's basically the whole thing with Sam and why they brought her back to Woodsboro. Why the killer wanted her back, because this killer is behind people that were obviously related to the original cast. Yeah. So obviously we have Randy's bloodline, Sam's bloodline, Wes, Judy. Yeah. Was there someone else that had a bloodline?
Oh, and then Vince.
Oh, and Vince, who was Stu's nephew. Which, if you don't hear it, you miss it, and you're like, why was he in this movie?
I didn't even know until like right before we recorded the episode. I was like, oh, completely missed that.
Yeah, that's why they mentioned him. And then, obviously, Amber lives in Stu's house. So that's the whole thing. And so the first attack of Sam, she's at the hospital. She's taking her medication. This is when she opens the mirror and then closes it. And Billy's behind her. We're like, what the fuck? That's the first time we see him. We're like, what is happening?
Yeah, he's just completely de-aged. And he's just standing saying, like, don't hide from who you are. Like, blah, blah, blah. Make me proud. And it's like, it's weird. Yeah. And then... So, obviously, he looked a little fake because, like, I don't know if he would shave because he has, like, a beard now. but he's also a lot older. Like you could tell that he's older. So like they probably had to do a lot of work.
Yeah, and obviously I guess CGI and the lighting is kind of hard to.
It is a lot harder. And usually what they'll do is they'll try to find someone that kind of looks like the person, like as close as possible to the young self, and then they'll put makeup and then try to do it as most in camera, and then do a little bit of work.
Yeah,
and
which is what Candyman did. I mean, they de-aged Tony Todd, and they did it in Halloween Kills with Loomis,
but that one wasn't even CG. That
was an actual person with prosthetic. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. His dad, in the very opening scene, he's CGI, and what they did is they used another actor, and they gave him the hair and everything, and then they put CGI on top. So they did it mostly on camera.
Yeah. And then Billy, you see him also. He has all his gun wounds and stuff. The only one he doesn't have is the one in the head.
Which.
I was like, why does he have these and not these? He died by this, not by these.
That's true. He did die by the head. So I was gonna say maybe he died before, but no.
No, because he goes, ah!
They always come back.
Yeah. So she gets attacked by this Ghostface, and it's in a break room. She's fighting him off, or her, and she runs out. She runs to the cop when they go in. She's not there, and then Jack Quaid, Richie. He's watching Netflix and he's watching the stab movies because he's trying to learn of like,
and it's just
how to survive these. And it's like,
it's
what?
so morbid. Like it's like this poor girl is a victim, and you're over here like, damn, stab sticks is really good.
But super smart. And then they're getting interrogated. And here, if you miss it, you see Amber has a bruise right here.
Like literally, it's like under her jacket, like right there.
But they only show it once on, and I feel like it's 2 seconds, and it's on purpose to see if you'll catch it.
Because I was literally like, did I just see a bruise on her? Because also she does mention Chad's arm is bruised up.
Yeah,
and
they're trying to blame it on him.
And Amber herself goes, oh, she said that she fought back.
Yeah.
So what is that? And he goes, oh, it's just from football. And then he kind of looks a little suspicious, but I was like, maybe.
Nah, he would have. If it would have been Chad, he would have beat the fuck out of Tara.
Okay,
he's too like.
Yeah, but I also have questions about that too.
I know. So.
Oh, and then also, can we go on a little rant about motherfuckers being loud as hell in the movie theater?
Listen, if you have 12 through 15-year-olds, go with them.
Nah.
Or
just don't go to the movies.
Or just don't send them to the movies by themselves, because these motherfuckers were so fucking loud. I was about to get up saying, shut the fuck up. My Sprite was about to be sprayed in someone's face.
I was going to be like,
bitch, what's up, bitch? Suck my dick, bitch.
I was so
There
close.
was a point in the movie that was so emotional, and these motherfuckers were moaning, and I just...
like moaning, like, it was crazy. They were throwing shit.
These kids were about to get fucking kicked in the face. And if you happen to see me on this YouTube channel and you saw, you're like, oh my God, that was the guy that was in my movie. Fuck you.
Yeah, literally. It was so annoying. And then they were doing like kitty sounds and dogs. It was just terrible. There wasn't even that many people. It was like you look back and it was just them. So I was just don't go. They should just make it to even if your parents are here, you can't watch. I
don't even know how they got in.
It's because they were with like older kids, like a little younger than us. So I'm like, why? No, if you're not 18, sorry, you can't watch it. See ya. Problem solved.
Yep. So yeah, and then so Judy's questioning obviously Richie and Amber, and she was like, "Oh, where were you?" He's like, "I was just watching Netflix." Like, what the fuck?
Which a stab series on Netflix? I need to go check. Cause damn, they
not
raised
even
their prices.
Not even the Scream movies on Netflix.
That's so true.
Yeah,
he should have been like, okay, so Stab 1, 2, and 3 is on Peacock, and then
that's literally how it is. It's like, but. So there's 8 stab movies, and from we remember Scream 4, there was up to 7. So they made one from 7 to now. From Scream 4 to now, they made one more stab movie, which is the one the one that has the chrome face, ghost face with the flamethrower, which I was very sad about.
Should we say the cameo?
So there's a cameo by Dead Meat in this movie, and
the Dead Meat podcast.
Yeah, they're doing a podcast on Stab 8. But that's not even the best part of it, because whatever. It's if you look at the screen and you look super close on one of the linked videos,
like
the recommended videos, there's a small one and you gotta catch it. It says that Kirby survivor of the Woodsboro something. So Kirby is alive still.
Yep. Yeah. So she might, if there's a sequel, she might come back.
Which I hope so.
Yeah, she was great. I loved her on 4.
So she's alive, which finally we got it confirmed. Thank you.
And also very proud of the Demi podcast, you know?
Yeah, shit. We made it into a movie.
I know.
I want to be in a movie.
And Scream on top of that.
I know.
Like, that is perfect. So congrats, guys. And I'm sure you guys are not going to watch, but still, very proud of it, of your hard work.
So good job. So.
Okay, let's go.
Later in this movie, towards the Sam decides to go see Dewey.
Yeah,
because she's the only one in town that's left that's a legacy character. They're calling all these older ones legacy characters, which I love that, and which is a thing that we do now because in Halloween Kills they were calling all the ones legacy characters, even though they killed most of them. No Tino shade. So, and. It's like morning. He's watching Gail on the news. Yeah. That she makes a joke about her bangs real quick.
And then you can tell that he is like a disheveled old guy.
He's a mess.
Yeah, alcoholic because there's bottles everywhere.
Him and Gail got a divorce.
He like eats a bagel and like he spits it out or some shit.
It was
like
a donut.
That. Oh, it was a donut. Still ass donut.
Yeah. He's making coffee, but then Sam and Richie come to see him. They're wanting his help. And Dewey he's hesitant to help. He doesn't want to go through this again, which I understand. They make jokes about him being stabbed 9 billion times, which is funny. And then he gives them the rules.
Yeah, he gives them immediately
his rules.
And it's like, rule number 1, it's always the love interest.
Don't trust him. And Richie gets real defensive.
Oh, he gets so defensive. And immediately he's like, oh, what were you doing? Conveniently, you were in the other room while she was getting attacked? Yeah.
And I was like, yep.
I was like, go, Dewey, let's go, Team Dewey.
Yep. So, what other rules does he give?
There was so many. It is also so different from Randy's that it just like, I kept mixing them up.
Yeah. Oh, it's always someone in your friend group.
Yes. And then they always come back to someone.
And they always link someone from your past.
Yeah. The past always comes back. That's what it was.
So, you know, he's hesitant to help. He's like, I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to go through this again. So he kind of kicks him out. And this is when he calls Sydney. And it's like, hey, it's happening again. Be careful. Do you have a gun? And she goes, I'm Sidney fucking Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Yep. And also we can tell that they haven't talked ever since, like for years.
I think she said,
5 years, right? Or something like that? I can't remember.
It's been a long time. She was very surprised that he called. But she's like, I'm never stepping foot in that town. I got kids now and I'm married. Which they mentioned her husband's name. His name is Mark. And then Frankie kind of sent me something and it put 2 and 2 together. So she's possibly married to Mark Kincaid, who is the detective from part 3.
Oh, that guy.
Hey, they stay together even though.
What's your favorite horror movie? My life.
So, but he was handsome. So hey, good job, Sidney.
Yeah, he's from.
You got a good one.
He's from what is it? Grey's Anatomy, I think.
I never watched that.
I think that's him.
Probably. There's like been so many seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I feel like every actor's been in it.
It just merges with Scream.
Just like at this point. So she's like, I'm not coming back. Don't worry about me. I'll keep myself safe. And then he goes to call Gail, but he doesn't call Gail, I guess, because he's super nervous. And it's like,
he goes, keep it together, Dwight. Come on. And then he goes to call, but then he just ends up texting her.
He says, like, Ghostface is back. Don't come back. And it's like, oh, how are you? With a smiley face. And he goes, I should have said that.
I should have said the smiley face.
Yeah.
I get it, Dwight.
But then he gets up and he goes to like this box, and I guess next to that box he has a box that says Tatum.
Yeah, so I saw a little box. It's like an urn that says Tatum. So it's like in a gold plate. So
probably has Tatum's ashes. Yeah, his sister. He takes out the gun, and then we cut to the kids. They all get reunited at the Meeks' house, Chad and Mindy's house,
and they have like a mural of Randy. So they have like a painting of him.
Yep, and it's like this memorial of him, and it's called the movie room. I guess that's where they watch movies. And in
they
the
have
back,
movie posters, just kind of like just like this.
Literally, they have 3 like this, and one of them is the Blob. I saw that one.
Blob in the fog, I think it was too.
Oh, maybe.
I think so.
And Dewey shows up. He's like, I'm gonna help you guys, and let's get through this. And then this is when all the kids are sitting down. They're going through like who could be the suspect. This is where Mindy does the Randy, and she gives her speech.
Dewey also says that he's gonna help them. He arrives right before they go in. He arrives.
Yeah, with a gun and everything. And she starts saying like, oh, you know, fans, you can either disappoint them or make them happy. There's no in between. There's always like this fight and like divide between fans. The stab movies, it's like she mentions Child's Play. She mentions like another franchise.
So she mentions a requel.
Yes.
That we're living on a requel because that's just like the trend, you know? And what happens is that they want to link it back to the past, and now you can't just do a sequel.
Yeah. So, because her thing is like, you can't make a reboot, you can't make a
sequel,
a remake, or a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what you do, fans are gonna be pissed off or something.
So then she goes in, and hence you do a requel, Halloween. She mentions Child's Play, My Bloody Valentine. Wait, did she?
She said something else, and I was like, "Yep, they did make sequel remakes of those." And
so she mentions like a bunch of movies, and we're looking at each other because we're like, we're motherfucking right. I knew this was a fucking.
So
direct
this
sequel.
is obviously playing off that whole trope where it's like we're just gonna name it after the original, but it's technically a sequel, but it's also
like,
a remake.
This movie is pretty much like a direct sequel because technically. Oh well,
no, they mentioned 4.
Yeah, because and also, Judy wouldn't be in it, so it's like kinda.
So it's literally what she's saying. It's like it's a sequel but a remake.
Yeah. So it's literally what it is.
So yeah, they do this, and then they all start like pointing at each other, like, "Oh, it could be you because of this," or "No, it could be you because of this."
They think it's Dewey.
At one point, Wes is like, "It's you." Because you're all alone in this town and you're bored. What else do you got going on?
And also the past comes back.
Yep. And you were stabbed like what? 1 billion times?
Yeah. He literally goes, I kind of regret coming back.
So, I want to talk about the hospital scene. So, Sam gets a call from Ghostface saying, oh no, this is when, okay, so before we get to the hospital, because she goes to the hospital for a reason. So we cut to Judy at home. She's gonna go pick up sushi for her and Wes to have like dinner, and the only reason she's gonna go pick it up instead of having delivered, because Wes mentioned something about like Uber Eats or something, is because he doesn't like it soggy, so she'd rather go pick it up.
He's
a mama's boy.
Yeah, he's such a mama's boy.
They don't seem to have a father figure, so it's like they're like a mom son duo.
And I love Judy so much because she gave me that, like, she's like in 4, she's like goody two shoes, and then as a mom she's the same way. Like you see her earlier in the movie when they're in the front of the school, and it's like, oh, your mom's over here interviewing anyone, and she's like interviewing anybody and like waves at him, and I was like, she's so cute.
So
and she hasn't aged like at all. No, she looks amazing.
So he's all sweaty because I guess he was working out. So he goes to take a shower. He has a taser. She gave him a taser to be ready. And she's like, lock the door. He locks the door. He goes to shower. She's on her way to get sushi, and she gets the phone call from Ghostface. Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to get your little boy. And she's like, you better not touch him. She's texting the cops at the same time to trace the call. Yep. And then he goes, oh, have you ever seen Psycho? Because he's in the shower, obviously, while she's been doing the phone call. She immediately turns on because she's in her cop car. She turns on her lights, and she books it back to the house. And she's super worried. And we're cutting back to Wes as he's showering and stuff. And we're like, oh my God.
He is washing his hair like the whole time. He keeps just like literally shampooing his hair. I'm like, damn, bro, you've been shampooing.
You know what I do like though? I like that the shower scene is a boy, a man, whatever, because it's always a woman.
It's true.
It's always look at a woman. In the first one, in the first stab movie, which they were making fun of Scream, it's like it's a girl getting in the shower. And then the third one, they say this whole thing. I was like, why am I getting in the shower? My boyfriend just died or whatever. Yeah. It's like, here we have actually a boy doing it, which I think is cool how they flipped the
script a little bit. And it's true. And it's also like he's not like a very particular like buff guy. Yeah. Like it's like he's kind of like a normal looking guy. Like so I was like, oh, okay, good on you. That's good. I like that.
So yeah, he goes, he's like, I'm gonna kill him. Like, have you ever seen Psycho? And then
I'm surprised he didn't say something like, I realized that in every movie he's like, I'm gonna gut you like a fish. Yeah. Like he always has like a little quote.
Well, like because that's usually when they're like about to hang up and he gets pissed.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm gonna square you like a fucking pig or whatever the fuck.
And then she gets home. She calls the cop for backup. She's running up to the house and she just gets fucking stabbed.
And like she's like, Max, I'm on my way, and literally stabs her right in the fucking gut.
And he kills her in the front yard, like nobody's watching. Yeah. She got no neighbors.
Oh my fucking God, she fucking dead.
Yeah, and he's just stabbed. And this Ghostface, when he stabs, it's like
You
super
feel it.
fast, and
You feel it. Like, it's like really hard. Like, there's a lot of anger behind it.
yeah,
It's
like
so
no
fucked.
no remorse or whatever.
And it's so brutal too. Like, because every Scream movie, like, okay, the first one is pretty bloody because of the ending where they're hurting each other. But like the kills aren't like crazy.
No.
They're not really bad.
No.
It's not until the fourth movie that it's like super gruesome kills and like there's a lot of blood everywhere. In this one though, it's like you feel it. Like every time that knife goes in, it hurt me. I was like,
this
Jesus
Ghostface
Christ.
does not think about stabbing. He just does it.
He's there. He's very angry.
So Wes comes out of the shower, and they're doing this whole thing where they're playing with the doors. If he might be behind that one or that one. He's opening cabinets. He's opening pantries, the
And
fridge.
He goes to like look outside, but like he like doesn't. So he kind of looks outside, so he can't see his mom like laying dead there. So he just closes the door and keeps on doing whatever. He's preparing.
Oh yeah, because the door's kind of open.
Yeah, he's preparing the table because of the sushi.
She let them know that she has lemon squares in the fridge.
Call back.
Call back to 4. They taste like ass.
They really don't.
So yeah, but when he does close the door, Ghostface is behind him, and then they start getting into a fight. And Ghostface like gets the hand of him and just stabs him right through the fucking neck, and you
And it
see it
comes
come out
out.
through the other side, and you're just like, ugh.
And then like you see it like kind of like stretching. Oh, it's so fucked. And I was like, damn, they killed Wes like right away.
Yeah, this movie moves so fucking fast.
Yeah, it did not feel. What was it, 2 hours?
It's 2 hours and it doesn't
did
feel
not
like
even
it.
Feel it. Like when the third act came in, I was like, oh shit, we're already
It's
done.
like it's like the first one. The first one is opening, getting to know characters here and there, and then third act,
definitely
and
not
we're
two
at
and-
Stu's house, and it's
definitely
like
not 2 and 3.
no, and then we're here. But then this is when Sam shows up. Gail shows up to Woodsboro. She meets Sam, and then she sees Dewey, and they have this moment. She's mad at him for just texting and not calling
I
her.
know, so great.
And he's like, oh, you just came here for a story, right? And she's like, well, they send me, but I'm 90% here for you, 10% for the story.
yeah, but it's not true.
She's here for him.
I love that they always have the same argument in
Yeah.
every movie. It's always like you're just here to benefit from
But
it.
the reason they got a divorce was because she
moved to New York.
She got a job opportunity in New York. They went together, but he only lasted 2 months, and I guess he left in the middle of the night. And she's like, you know, like Woodsboro is your life, it's where you belong, and and like she understood. But that's why they're broken up. But they consider each other best friends, and they still love each other very much. They didn't work out.
Yeah. And
Super
then-
sweet moment.
Yeah, I their relationship is so fucking cute. I love them. And then we also find out that he is not in uniform because he retired as a sheriff.
Yep.
So he's just a normal guy with a gun.
Yep.
That's it.
And she kind of feels pity for him, and he's like, "Don't feel pity for me."
Yeah.
You know, whatever. He lives in a trailer now, and his life was
Yeah, it kind of just got ruined a little bit. And it's like he's been through so much. Like that poor guy. I'm surprised he's fucking sane.
But this is when the movie turns up a little bit because Sam sees the deputies that were in the hospital watching her sister now that they're at this crime scene, because obviously the sheriff died, so it's like y'all running low on employment. So
Oh, didn't Sam tell Gail that she is Billy Loomis's kid?
Gail knew, I think, already.
Okay. No, I think she tells her.
She tells her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah, I forgot how it went. Like I said, first
But
time
anyways,
watching.
yeah.
So she gets a phone call from Ghostface. Her sister's alone at the hospital at this point. Her sister is like getting on the wheelchair, and she's like struggling to roll down the hallway.
All the lights go off.
All the lights go off, and again, horror trope. No nurses, no doctors, empty hospital, and it's dark. And I was like, you know what? I love this. It's such a thing.
All the time. Like, okay, can we finish this scene because I need to talk. I need to go on a rant.
Okay, yeah.
I need to go on a rant.
She finds the cop that was there. He's dead. And then this is when Ghostface appears. Oh, no. She hides behind a room. Someone opens the door, and it's Richie, and she bangs him with the phone.
Yeah.
And it's just Richie, and she's telling him that there's someone kill her. Ghostface attacks Richie.
He goes, "Oh, your sister called me and said you were in danger, so I was close by."
So Ghostface attacks Richie. Tara's trying to get
In the
away.
arm, every fucking time.
Yes.
It's always on the fucking arm.
It's the safest way to get stabbed, I guess. Not that I want to try it. So,
Are you sure, Carlos?
yeah, I'm pretty sure. So she's trying to get away. He knocks her off the wheelchair, and he's like trying to kill her, and he's like, "Oh, you're too late." And this is when he does the voice changer
like
thing.
Like he turns it on,
and you hear it turn on, and I was like, "Oh my god, that is so cool. We never seen this." And the shots of Ghostface in this hospital scene, like the close-ups and the far, they just look so fucking good, and he looks very intimidating.
Well, this is the first time that we actually see Ghostface, like the camera is like up below him. So he looks greater than anything. So he looks like an intimidating force. Because in the other ones, he's like fumbling. Oh, and this is another one. Like he gets fucked up a little bit, but not as bad as before. Yeah. Which is always great to see him like kind of get fucked.
But he's also very clumsy. I've noticed he's
he's clumsy. But like in this one, he was way more intimidating than clumsy for sure.
And like just the close up shots and the head tilts he does. So good.
Yeah.
So
and we hear him when he gets fucked up. We hear him.
Yeah.
In the other movies, we never do.
In the first one, he does grunts.
Oh, really?
He grunts in the first one.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that
in some scenes. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, it was a guy for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I thought it was Stu. So Dewey and Sam show up. They shoot him and they get the advantage over him. Dewey fights this Ghostface, and then as they're leaving, Dewey's like, I gotta finish this because you have to shoot them in the head.
Yep.
If not, they're gonna come back, and I'm like, yeah.
And so what's his name? What is his
Richie?
Richie. I almost said Jack. Richie, Sam, and
Tara
go back to the elevator.
They leave.
And fucking.
And this is when we get this fucking awesome shot of Dewey unloading his gun and loading it back up and walking towards the killer. And as he's gonna shoot, he gets a phone call from Gale, and the killer just gets up and stabs him in the front, guts him up, stabs him in the back, and does the same thing and just stabbing him going up. And Dewey falls to his death. But me crying in the theater, I will say the shot of Ghostface standing over him with the knives like this, it just looks fucking awesome.
It was fucking fantastic.
And I was like, oh, Dewey.
Yeah.
And then we cut to...
He died in a bad bitch way, though.
He did. He did.
And honestly, it's like, in every movie, he gets so fucked up. And he always makes it like, I legit thought he died in the second one. And like, no, he came back. And it's like, he had so many lives that like, at some point, it's like... And then she said something like that. It's like it was an honor, and
this is when Ghostface. I guess the Ghostface thing is like if he were to kill every time he kills a legacy, he's gonna say it was an honor.
Yeah, and then it's like, and also like at this time, this is your ending or whatever the fuck, and that.
Oh, because Dewey says not today, and the Ghostface goes yes today.
Yep,
and so in the soundtrack, there's a song called "Sacrifice." If you haven't heard it, and there's a super sad song, and at the end of the song, they play his theme, and immediately I was like, "Oh no!"
It was so sad because, and I see him depressed as hell, and then he plays it in the car, and I'm like, "Oh."
And then they cut to outside, and the sun is going down. It's sunset, and Gail arrives at the crime scene, and she knows what's happened.
Because she sees everyone else except him.
Yeah, and I just started crying. I was like...
But this is where I'm going to go on my motherfucking rant. Because if this motherfucking hospital was fully staffed with night nurses, Dewey wouldn't have fucking died. Because someone would have been there on the bitch ass, and then you would have seen Ghostface come in.
Tara was on the floor that was under construction, and she was just in the good room.
Oh my God.
Because when they're downstairs... The whole staff is there.
No,
the staff was having a very emergency meeting.
Apparently... This is the only motherfucking hospital that they don't hire an overnight staff.
No, it's not even overnight. It's daytime.
Oh, it is?
What
the fuck?
I'm telling you, they were having a meeting because they're like, okay, you heard what happened in Haddonfield with the whole crowd and busting up in the whole hospital? We can't let that happen here. It can't be Ghostface dies tonight.
While in the background, everyone's getting fucked up.
Yeah, we have to have protocol and able to control the crowd. We can't let that happen as someone's dying up there.
Yeah, I imagine it's in the same floor, but they're not looking, like the windows behind them. And they're like, if you ever see Ghostface and he's running in the background, stabbing, make sure to call somebody. Please hide and call 911, okay?
And also make sure if someone looks suspicious, don't just start a fucking riot. Make sure that it is the killer.
Speak up, please.
Yes.
Because Ghostface dies tonight. Ghostface dies tonight.
I get it.
But this hospital is lacking with their staff.
Honestly, though, it's a Scream movie. They're playing on the tropes, and I I fucking loved it. Honestly, that was my favorite scene in the whole movie.
It was great. It was
the shots of Ghostface. It was very intense.
And that whole fight scene was so great. Which when we reveal the killers, I'm gonna come back to that.
So it's nighttime. Tara and Sam decides that she's taking Tara away. They're leaving town.
And
it's
she
the
is
only safe
over
place.
it.
She's over it. And Sidney shows up, and only reason Sidney showed up was because Dewey died.
Yeah.
Because if Dewey wouldn't have passed away, she would have stayed and minded her damn business.
My thing is like, how did she hear about that?
Gail probably called her.
No, Gail
no.
didn't know. Gail was like, what the fuck?
It was probably in the news like this.
I guess. And damn. She kept an eye on that shit. I guess she knew that something was
since
happening.
Since Dewey called her, she was probably keeping an eye on the news.
Yeah, just to make sure.
And honestly, Dewey dying, that's a big thing. She was the sheriff.
Yeah, he was the head sheriff of the town. So I guess that's a very big
It was
deal.
probably like on the news, like, oh, old sheriff and new sheriff both dead.
Yeah. Damn.
So
I'm so sad about that. I'm sorry.
I know. So Sidney talks to Sam. Sam does nothing want to do with her. And it's a funny scene where Gail's like, oh, don't talk to her like that, new girl. You ever heard of the original? Right here.
Yeah, it's so true. Because I'm like, bitch, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Look at what you just went through. And she's like, I'm going to leave. And she's like, hey, I left. And he still got to me.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful. And she's like, that sounds like a personal problem, bitch. I'm not you.
Yep. And Sidney's like, I've been through this.
Yeah.
A lot.
Sydney literally was like,
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah, thank you, Snoop Dogg.
So and Sidney also know that she was Billy's daughter. So she understands what she's going through. So but they still leave, and Sidney's like, I put a tracker in the car.
Oh yeah, because she's like, good luck, please. And it gets really close to her.
Yeah. And Gail's like, damn. And she's like, that's something you would have done, right?
That's so true. It is very true.
Yeah. So they're leaving town, but then Tara starts complaining that she doesn't have her inhaler, that she has an extra one at Amber's. And I was like,
that's so weird.
You little sus.
Yeah, a little bit. I was
like you really, I mean, girl, I understand you need one that bad because, baby, so do I. So I get it. But I was like, you really want to go to Amber's house, huh?
Yeah, that was like a little bit suspicious.
But she's also broken, so I was like, you can't do much.
Imagine she comes back, she's like, actually, I'm fine.
I was never broken. The doctor helped me put a cast on.
The doctor was another killer. He's been helping all along.
So they go to Amber's house, and this is when we cut to a party, and we see that Amber lives in Stu Macher's house.
It's like they don't even show it at first. We just know the layout
interior,
so
the interior,
well,
yeah,
because they kept it exactly the same. You see the famous like stair shits,
yeah.
And then you see the kitchen. It's like it's identical, like nothing changed.
So they're having a party. All the kids are there. They're watching the first stab,
which is so funny because it's literally just Scream.
And like at one point they're watching the scene where like Randy is giving the rules, but it's like the stab movie version. They're giving the rules. It's really funny.
I would love to see the stab movies, like their version of the stabs. I mean, even though I know it's Scream.
It's literally, it's just Scream.
Yeah.
How do they know all those details? I have
no clue.
Oh, and also in like on the stab movie, there's like, you know how Randy in the first one was watching Halloween? There is, in the fake one, there's like a guy, you don't see the face, but has a giant knife.
It's like huge.
Like pointing in. I was like, that's supposed to be Michael Myers, but we just see a little white. We don't see the whole face.
And I was literally like, are they gonna like still play the Michael Myers?
They can't play Halloween. That would make no sense.
I was so thrown off.
Wait, no, it wouldn't make sense. Halloween is a movie.
Yeah.
But you know, they can't do that because
they didn't get the rights.
Stab didn't get the rights. Scream did.
Yeah.
So they're doing this party. There's a scene where Amber goes to the basement, kind of homaging the whole Tatum thing to get beers.
Yeah.
And they have this silhouette in the back that got me at first. I was like, oh. And it's like a white towel, but then it's like a big black blanket on behind it, and it looks like a Ghostface silhouette, and it's not. But it was really cool. And then
Amber, it's literally the same scene as Tatum, except without the nipples. Because Amber, it's literally she opens the door, the light doesn't work, and like she goes down the stairs. It's a shot exactly the same.
Yep. And when she closes the fridge door, Mindy's behind her, and Mindy's like, you know, you shouldn't go down here by yourself.
He's like, this was a test and you failed badly.
And she goes, well, are you the killer? She goes, no, I'm not. Are you the killer? I could be, but I'm not.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
it was like, because she was like, you should have asked me to come down with you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh yeah, but what if you're
That's something the killer would say, to come with me.
Yeah, and then she goes, because I am. And then she like gets really close to her, and I was like, oh shit.
And then as they're leaving the stairs, Amber stops. She's like, go in front of me. And she goes, good. You're learning.
Yep. It is so funny. She still has that Randy personality. Yeah. I mean, she gets it
Which
from the mom.
They play that later with the other killer when they say, oh, you want to come get beer with me?
Yeah, they do. Oh, shit.
But she was not stupid.
No, she's not. She's a rant. She's a, what's a meek?
She's a meeks. So the Sam and Jack and Richie and Tara arrive at the party. They kick everyone out of the house. He kicks everyone out of the house too.
Yeah, he's like, Gen Z's,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. Get out of here. And they're like throwing shit at him. And he's just like, that's fine, whatever.
And the house is empty. Oh, there's a scene where Liv and Chad are getting it on, and Liv wants to fuck.
Oh, she's like, let's go upstairs because I'm ready for that dick. Yep. She goes, she want to give him that 9,000, you know?
God.
But he's like,
with everything happening, I don't know if I can trust you.
And honestly, good on him.
Good on him, but she gets fucking triggered.
Yeah, he was thinking with the right head. Just saying.
So she leaves, and she basically says, fuck you, and she leaves. And then he's super sad. He's talking to his sister, and then he goes to go find her. And this is when we get like this whole tracking app thing where you see the phone where it's moving to, and you see her phone.
Yeah, which only comes to play like for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, but it's like, because she's been played as this red herring too.
But it seems like he didn't know about that app. Because he gets a text message from her that says click on me
to share location.
So he like kind of like goes, and then he clicks it, and then it asks for permission. So he's like, he's kind of like weirded out, and then he does it again. Like he accepts it.
And then he walks closer to her, and he can't find her, and then the Ghostface is right behind him and attacks him. They get into this fight. But then he runs away. At one point, he can't unlock his phone because his hands are bloody and wet. And I get it. Sometimes I'm in the shower and I can't play with my phone because my hands are wet.
And he's really trying, but he does. He just grabs his motherfucking phone
and just chucks it. Yep, because he knows that the app will move. And as he's trying to, and then he tries to like sneak away, and Ghostface comes out of the fucking the shed and attacks him and stabbing him like super fast. But then a car arrives and he gets scared and runs away. Which
this is Richie and everyone.
Yeah, this is when they arrive.
But it just kind of cuts back and forth. So yeah.
So this was Amber attacking him.
Yeah.
Which also, that bitch is strong.
I got so many questions.
She was taking something.
Yeah, for real.
So
he's dead.
We're at the third act, basically.
Yeah. And pretty much everyone gets kicked out. Then how did everyone just start being suspicious with each other?
So Mindy is making out with some chick. This chick leaves.
Oh yeah.
And then she's watching Stab, and it's the scene where Randy's telling Jamie Lee Curtis to look behind you, Jamie, look behind you.
He's like drunk.
But then in the movie you see Ghostface coming, and they literally do this again in this movie where it's like Ghostface coming out of the kitchen,
and she's being like, "Come on, Randy,
look behind you." And then she thinks about it and goes, and Ghostface is behind her and attacks her. And I was like, "Oh, you're so smart, thank you."
Good for her.
Yes. And she gets attacked. Sam helps her. Ghostface runs away, and everyone starts showing up slowly.
Yeah, because they're like, the killer was here. And it's literally like one person comes over. Well, Amber was with Tara. So she's like, Liv came over with covered in blood. And they're like, what the fuck?
And Richie comes out of the basement. She goes, where the fuck were you? She's like, I was in the basement. And I told her to come with me. And she didn't want to. Oh, and they make a joke. He's like, I'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'll be right. And she goes, he's dead.
Oh, yeah. He's like, she's so dead. And, but then everyone's questioning each other.
And they're pointing fingers. And out of fucking nowhere, Amber just pulls out a gun and fucking shoots Liv in the head. And I was like, not my girl, Liv.
Oh my God. It came out of nowhere. Because even though we were sus about Amber, that kill, she was so straightforward with it.
I said it out loud in the movie. I fucking knew it.
Yeah. Because she goes, Liv had blood on her hands. She said, I found Chad dead in the front yard. Yeah. Which I think it's a nod to the fourth one.
Yeah.
Charles or Charlie.
It was Charlie that
Charlie
had the
finds
blood in
his
hand,
friend. Yeah,
that he finds his friend.
Yeah. So then which I also think he's a reference to Charles Lee Ray. And anyways, so they're like, Richie looks at her and goes, "No, you're the killer." And she goes, "No, I swear to God, I'm not." And Amber goes, "Yeah, because I am." And then she shoots him right in the fucking head.
And I was like, "Oh, we're doing this kind of reveal. We're not even taking off the mask."
Nope.
Okay.
So everyone just starts fucking running.
Yeah.
But then Tara starts fighting Amber.
No, Tara wasn't in the scene.
Yes, she was.
No, baby. Because this is what happens. So Tara and Amber go to find her inhaler. And when the whole thing starts happening, Tara's not here because we find out that Tara's fucking tied up in the closet.
Oh, that's
Tara
true.
wasn't there for the reveal because Tara already knew at that point because she was already tied up.
But my thing is that they came together.
Because then Sam later unties her, but we never found out that if Sam untied her or not.
Okay.
Because Sam was like, "Are you in this too?" To her sister.
Oh,
but
yeah.
and we just don't see if she unties her or not, and then we do find out that she's like, I untied her.
Well, everyone splits up because then we see Richie and Sam down in the basement, and she holds a knife to him.
Also at him, it's like you're
like,
so she's now being suspicious of
everyone. She's paranoid, and he goes, whoa, like I understand the situation, but I need to be honest, and I think it's your sister because she wanted her inhaler. Yeah. She brought us here. Like, what's that coincidence?
Yeah, it's him first, but then when she's upstairs, she finds her sister and she doesn't know if she should untie her or not. Yeah. This is when she gets the phone call from Sydney. She's like, don't go to the house. Don't be in the house. She's like, how do you know where I was? She's like, I had to drag her. She's like, the killer wanted you to be at the house. That's the original house of the original killings. So it's like, and they do this whole shot of going outside of the house, and it's very creepy. And
it's like it pans and everything. And this is when we see the outside of the house, where it confirms 100% that it's Stu's house.
And there's a lot of screaming going on now in the house, and Sydney and Gail show up. Sydney gets a gun, gives it to Gail, and you hear screaming from the inside of the house, and Sydney goes, "You ready for this?" And Gail's like, "For this? Never."
Yeah, and I love that Amber comes outside, and she's like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, Amber's like, "I
got stabbed."
And in the trailer, you think that this bitch got stabbed.
Yeah, and I love that Sydney goes,
she goes to Gail,
this is a trap, right? And she goes,
yup. And then Amber's like, "Fuck this," and shoots Gail. And I was like, oh my God.
And then Sydney starts shooting her. She goes back inside of the house. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck? Is this so much happening?
Yep. And Sydney's like, "You need to go to the hospital, Gail." And Gail's like, no. You said you wanted to finish this. We're going to finish this, and we're going to do it for Dewey.
Yep.
And Sydney goes inside, and she's going around the house. She's like, anyone who's a killer or not a killer, come out, or I'm going to shoot you in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I fucked that bitch up.
Yep.
She was ready.
The first place she goes to is the closet. The closet that she comes out of in the first one, she shoots in there. No one's in there.
You know what? She's smart. She's learned because she shoots in there first before she opens it.
Yep. She
does
shoots.
that with every door that we see.
Yep.
Every time there's a door closed, she shoots it first and then asks questions later.
Yep. And then she gets the phone call. She's going upstairs. Ghostface is talking shit to her. And she's like, "I'm done with this." She just hangs up the phone. No fucks given.
Yeah.
And she calls one more time at the last door she shoots, and she ends up shooting Richie in the leg.
Yeah. And
I was like, good job.
But right next to that door, there's another door, and
which
Ghostface
is another
comes
closet.
out.
Comes out of the closet again.
Yep, and fucks her up, and they both fall down from the second story on their back, and man, that shit hurt. My back. I was like, God damn, my back.
But when Ghostface pops out of the closet and attacks Sydney, Richie's like, it's Ghostface.
I could not stop laughing. That shit was so funny. So they get fucked up. Ghostface, you can tell that he's a little bit Amber. It's Amber.
Yeah,
and she's like disoriented.
And Richie's coming down the stairs, and Sydney's like, grab the gun before, she does. And Richie's trying. And then Sam grabs the gun first, I believe.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Sam grabs the gun.
But then when Richie gets to her, he stabs her. And I was like, no fucking way. Okay.
It was obvious.
And he knows. When this movie got casted and the poster started coming, I was like,
before the trailer, before anything,
even before these promotional posters, I was like, it's Richie, it's the kid from The Boys, because he looks like a little pendejo, but he has a pendejo face, and but I was like, but then they announced that he's like the boyfriend of Sam, so I was like, they can't be doing the boyfriend thing again.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like every movie always the red herring is always the boyfriend or the love interest. So you're like immediately I'm like, no, he's the love interest. So like it's obviously not gonna be him.
Yeah.
But they played with that. Like he literally mentions it. He's like, I got you to the point where I convinced that your sister was the killer.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy fuck.
So I was like, oh fuck. Okay. So I mean, I was right at first, but then I did change my mind and started saying other things. Like I said Stu and Judy.
Yeah.
But then the movie started and I was like, nah, it's Amber. Yeah. Now I just don't know who the other one is.
And I was like, there has to be a third one because I'm sorry, but Amber could not take on Dewey. And I'm so mad about that because look, this is not about that she's a female. It's just that she's so small. I could have drop kicked her. Like it's like Dewey is like so overpoweringly big compared to her. Yeah. He wasn't injured. He wasn't anything. He has a limp, but whatever. He's still like a grown ass dude. Yeah. And it's like,
but like I was telling him, like in the sequels, it's always like it's kind of weird of some of the killers because it's like like Mrs. Loomis killing Randy. Come on, Randy. I feel like Randy could have took. I mean, he was caught off guard.
But
at the same time, I feel like that woman was like 50, 60 maybe.
Yeah,
he could have taken her. Also, like in the fourth one, we had Jill, and I just don't question it. Like the most prominent killer that I'm like they can take on a person was Roman.
Yeah.
And Billy and Stu because they were pretty.
They were guys. They were big guys. So, but my thing is like she just
because even Charlie, I was like, I could beat up Charlie.
Like maybe. Oh yeah, that's true. Charlie looked a little pendejo.
Yeah.
But like if she was like a taller girl, then I could have believed it a little bit more. But she was like small.
Also,
she was like tiny.
Women can surprise you.
I mean, yes, that's true. But it's just like I don't know, bro.
Dewey was caught off guard though.
Yeah.
Because he got the phone call, he looked down at his phone.
But they had a fight and he struggled.
I know, but
I don't know.
She somehow got the upper hand.
I was so mad because I'm like, dude, I'm just salty that
we're going by Scream 3 rules. The kill is always supernatural. They got power.
I'm just salty. I'm salty that Dewey died.
I know.
He deserved better.
But yeah, he reveals himself. Him and Amber met on a subreddit, which I love that they mentioned Reddit. Mm-hmm. And
so it's like pretty much that they met through Reddit. They're like dating a little bit, right? Because
he calls her baby. They call each other babe. His thing was that the fans want something new or something different, and they want to keep the thing alive. Because I guess Stab 8 was the last stab, so they want another one. Which is kind of like this whole thing. It was like, when are we going to get another Nightmare? When are we going to get another Friday? Mm-hmm. So like them doing this new killing, they know that some producers out there, directors are going to want to make a new stab out of this one. So it's like, I'm making you famous, Samantha.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, so this was your whole plan, trying to make me into the hero. And she's like, no. You're the son of the serial killer of the original. So you're the villain. You're
gonna get they're gonna blame her for all of these murders, and it's like you killed the legacy characters. You did all this thing. They bring Gil inside. Gil is kind of gets the dad treatment from Scream 1, and the Trevor treatment. Except Gil survives.
She makes
which I was very happy about.
And then also I do love that like their character like. You know how like Stu was very like giddy, like and like you see Amber and like Amber like she holds down like Sidney Prescott.
Yeah,
and,
so Amber's more like Billy and
like Stu. She's more like Stu.
You think so?
Yeah, because she's like, oh my god, like she was like super happy and she was being so goofy with everything, and I feel like Richie was more angry. He was more of an angry guy.
I don't know. I saw him as Stu in a angrier.
Really?
Yeah.
So you see Stu as an angrier version. So that's Billy.
No, but I feel like Richie also had like that little witty. I don't know. It's the faces he was making.
I guess it's because he has a goofy ass face too. But I just Amber was like giddy and laughing and like I think she just had so much power that she was just like, oh, like this is great. Like I love this.
Yeah. So
and honestly, I was gonna say, at the beginning of the movie, I was like, wow, she's beautiful, and she got really hot when she was revealed the killer. I was like, wow, she is perfect.
Honestly, though, I said the same thing about Roman.
Exactly.
When Roman was revealed, I was like, oh, he kind of got hotter.
Please. I need me a girl like that.
Oh, God. No. I don't want that in my house. No. So, yeah, that's basically like their whole thing. And that he wants Samantha to be blamed. It's the perfect it's the perfect remake or requel
Yeah.
of the daughter coming back to do the killings of her father. Which honestly, I thought it was pretty smart.
Yeah, it's well done. I really enjoyed that. And what was it? So they didn't do like the whole like, oh, injure me and anything. I think their plan was just to like escape, I guess.
Escape, but kill Samantha, but make her look like she did it.
Like she like frame her at the
Yeah.
end. Like she killed herself, or maybe she just died in the process.
So this is when they're basically getting the upper hand on them, but then they hear a noise, I think, upstairs, and Sam's like, oh, I untied my sister. I hope you remember that.
Oh yeah, because this is when he says the line like, I convinced you that even your sister could have been the killer. And then
the phone rings.
And it's like, you should answer that, and
It's for you.
It's for you. And it's like, maybe you weren't that persuasive at all. So this girl is just, somewhere in the house, and that's a big ass house, so you can hide anywhere.
So he sends Amber to look for her, and this girl with her crutches.
Oh, this is the part where I was saying
She fucks up Amber with her crutches, but then also Amber starts fucking her up.
But
I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me.
No, because
That's Sam.
She broken legged, stabbed hand, but she's beating up Amber with her crutches. Which honestly, anything is a weapon at this point.
oh hell yeah, and it's so brutal too. And I don't know why I just thought about this, but this is the first time that we get a opening kill that she doesn't die.
Yeah,
And she's part of the plan.
yeah. The first opening kill that's not a murder.
And this is all part of the plan. Like I bet like they didn't kill her on purpose.
Yep. I mean, there might be a deal for another movie.
Maybe.
Sidney gets stabbed, and he was very upset. He didn't want to stab Sidney just yet.
because she was gonna kill her.
Yeah.
She was definitely gonna kill her.
So I forget what happened. There's a lot happening in this ending scene.
So much happening. Because I think they grab a gun, and I think Richie kicks it out of Sydney's hand.
Yeah, she tries to. I'm just trying to think, because Richie and Sam kind of run away as they're fighting.
Yeah, I think they go to upstairs. Maybe I think.
Yeah, they're kind of fighting. Yeah,
It's so much happening in the process.
Okay, so what I remember the most, because I was just thought it was a badass scene, was that Gail and Sydney were fighting Amber together.
Oh yeah,
because Gail's obviously injured, so she's not at 100. They're both injured. One stab, one shot, but they're fighting this girl. This girl's fighting back, and they get the upper hand on her like once or twice. And every time they get the upper hand on her, she's like, I'm sorry, I'm just a dumb girl from Reddit. I don't know what I was doing.
Yes, like he convinced me, and then she's like, oh yeah, let me guess, blah blah blah, and then she's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, but you still killed Dewey, and he goes, yeah, he died like a little fucking bitch, and I was triggered. I'm like, fuck that bitch up.
Gail was triggered. They bust her head with a fucking hand sanitizer bottle that was glass.
And she goes, a fucking hand sanitizer?
Yep.
And that's why it reminded me of Stu, because it reminded me when he throws the phone, he's like, oh, you hit me with the phone,
idiot. Yeah. And then this is when
I love that line so much.
This is when she's kind of like behind the stove. She accidentally turns on the stove, which is gas. And Sydney's like, you want to take this? And Gail takes the gun, shoots her. She falls back on the stove and she burns.
Yeah, and this is from the trailer. We see someone burning, and it's that scene.
You know what's funny? I told him, I was like, that looks like a Ghostface on fire.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Technically, it was.
Technically, yeah, you're right.
So, and
so
then
we see her, she dies.
Yeah, and
so
then
now it's with Richie.
Richie and Sam are the ones kind of fighting. And okay, so this is what bothered me, because now Sam is seeing kind of flashbacks of her dad.
Yeah.
But it's her dad like helping her.
Like he's kind of like, you know what to do.
Yeah, and I'm
it's
like,
weird.
I wouldn't vision my dead father telling me the thing.
Especially like a serial killer.
Yeah,
like,
I would imagine more
dad.
when she's, I don't know.
And it's like they're kind of making it kind of like Billy's like a good guy, kind of.
I guess to his daughter.
I get
But,
it's really weird. And I didn't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, that's what I don't know how to feel about just yet. But she gets the upper hand on him, and she's like, "You forgot one thing about me," and she says, "You never fuck with the daughter of a serial killer."
It's a new rule.
Yeah, it's a new rule, and she just starts stabbing him like a
psycho.
fucking like psychopath.
And she's just going. And
she's
you
like
see
this.
him.
Like this and like that and like this and like that.
It's
and
like a
that.
dance move, isn't it? And then he's all covered in blood and everything, and he looks at her and goes, "What about my ending?" And she goes, "You got it." And then she like slices his throat.
Yep.
And she is drenched in blood.
Yep. And she gets up, and she takes the gun and she shoots him a couple more times to make sure, but
Yeah.
not in the head.
No, but then we see Gail. No, because then we see Gail and Sydney come back, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, "You good?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then Sydney goes, "Oh, we should shoot him again because these motherfuckers always come back."
Yep.
And she shoots him, and I thought one of them hits him in the head, like it goes through his neck.
Maybe.
Because I saw blood splatter in the back.
Also, maybe it did.
So-
I might have blinked.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much happening. I'm telling you guys. And he falls, and then and out of nowhere, Amber comes back, all fucked up.
all burnt like Chucky and Child's Play 1, like this with a knife.
You fucking bitch.
Yeah, and then they shoot her. They shoot her in the head.
Yep, and she dies. Of course, we always have to get the final jump scare.
Yep. And then we have Gail and Sydney. We have Tara and Sam surviving. This is when they're outside of Stu's house.
We had the ambulance come over, and then we got what's her name?
Sam.
Chad.
Chad
and
Mindy. Chad and Mindy did survive. So we got both of the Meeks survived. So I hope to see them again.
Is it the original cast? Yeah, the like family members
It's
of the
like-
original
yeah.
made it again. Which I'm surprised that Chad made it because he got stabbed like a million times.
You know what? You know what's a question of mine?
What?
Tara's mom. I know it's not a big deal,
Yeah.
but what if her mom was someone from Scream 1 that we just don't know of yet?
I mean, yeah, but I think it's one of those that's like it's just a random girl. And
It'll be funny-
Billy's the important,
it'll
I
be
guess the important character.
It'd be funny if her mom is like that one cheerleader who was a bitch in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, maybe. That'd be funny.
But yeah, the Meeks survive. And then Tara and Sam, that's pretty much it. 4 of them, which in the original 4 survived, 4 here.
Yeah. So then Sam goes up to Sydney and goes, "Hey, am I gonna be okay?" And she goes, "Well, eventually, with some time," because even though she went through all this trauma, she still has that internal debate of like, my dad's a psychopath.
Am I gonna be one?
Yeah. And then she looks over to the side and there's a car window and you see Billy behind her, kind of like, good job.
Good job. I was like,
what the fuck?
No.
Like, that's so weird. I don't
yeah,
like this.
because Billy would have been like, kill Sydney.
Yeah, do it right now.
Yeah.
Fuck that bitch.
So I don't know how I feel about that, but Gil and Sydney have this moment where like, I'm not gonna write a book about this, but I am gonna write a book about a guy who was an amazing sheriff. Talk about Dewey, and I was like, oh my god,
Woody from Toy Story. Yeah, poor Dewey, man. I love him, but I guess he had it coming.
Yeah.
It was about time.
And then Tara and Sam ride off in the ambulance, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
And
it just cuts and it says for Wes.
for Wes, and we get this quick jump scare of Ghostface cleaning the knife, like slashing, and it was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. There was no end credit scene. And well, we didn't stay. We just looked it up online.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much. And in the title card, the credits, it's like the original intro to Scream. It's like those like that very 90s
The
text
font.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That was Scream.
Such a good
2020.
movie. I'm trying to see. I want to mention everything that I want to mention now, so it's here, but I'm gonna forget. I forgot. I know I probably missed a lot. I'm sorry, but
It's fine. I mean, again, when it comes out for Blu-ray, we would like to do like a, maybe we can do the whole tier list or like ranking video, and then we can talk about each movie, because we wanted to do that before this movie came out, but we just didn't have the time. We also couldn't find it on all the streaming sites, and as soon as like we recorded that episode, like 3 of them were in like Peacock, and we're like,
and the 4th one was on
Showtime,
Yep.
and we're like, what the fuck, like.
No, they were on Paramount.
Oh yeah, Paramount.
Then
That's
they took
right.
them out, and then Peacock grabbed 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then Tubi had the 4th one, took it out, and now it's on Showtime. And I'm like, why can y'all just have all 4 of them together? Why does 4 get treated like the ugly stepchild when
And
it's like one of the better
beautiful
ones?
child.
Right. Anyway.
It always like that. And then literally we found out it was on Showtime because I finished watching Dexter that was on Showtime, and I let him borrow it. And then he's like, Jonathan, Scream 4 is in there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we took advantage of that. So hopefully we can do, once this movie comes out on Blu-ray, we'll do a full video on it.
I don't know why I don't own them. I used to own the VHSs of the first 3. I don't own the DVDs. I do have the steelbook of the first one.
It's beautiful.
It's just I'm very picky when I buy
like DVDs.
media. Yeah, I don't like DVD. I like Blu-ray.
Yeah.
At least. So, or steelbook. So I kind of usually like to wait to see maybe they'll drop one.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I have I have them here, the Evil Dead ones. I have DVDs and Blu-ray and everything. So it's like, I get kind of picky unless I really love the movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen all the Scream movies. Like I only watched the first one.
And I'm a person, and I know people like to collect all the different DVDs and VHS. I like to have box sets.
Yeah.
So like if Scream ever has a box set, I would definitely get it. But if I already have them, I kind of it's like I don't want to. I don't know.
But now
unless they have extra content, then I'll be like, oh, then yes.
Yeah, but now they're gonna be like 1, 2, 3, and 5. Don't skip the fourth one. Okay, so let's go to best kill in the series or in the movie.
Dewey's
Was very good.
It's very poetic.
It's
actually
powerful.
really in the fact that Ghostface for the first time ever that I've seen uses 2 knives, one to the front and one to the back, and then just like Randy Orton, like this, and the shot of just
them both,
him standing over Ghostface, and Ghostface had a vest on, and you see that the bullets didn't go through him. I was like,
I honestly loved Wes's death. I think that one was. It reminded me of that 80s horror, very, it's practical. But just like, because he's holding on and he's like, fuck you. Yeah. And then he like literally grabs a knife and just fucking plummets like right on his fucking neck. And who do
you think did that one?
Okay, so I think first kill was definitely, what's his name? Richie.
You think so?
Yes. So I think Amber's video clip was actually Amber. Like I think it's because it was a live stream. It was a FaceTime. That's why I thought they were neighbors.
Cause the thing with Richie is that he was in another town with Sam.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry, Sam, or fuck, why did I forget her name? Amber. Sorry.
I just don't know who recorded her through the window.
So I think it could be then pre-recorded.
Okay.
Because I thought it was a FaceTime, but now that I remember,
it was somebody recording her.
Yeah, so it's definitely pre-recorded because she also gets it on a text message.
Yeah.
So Amber kills her, or that's the first one. And the hospital, it's definitely Richie. Because then he later comes back and it's like coincidence, and Amber's nowhere to be found.
But she was also there.
But she
wasn't in the room. They left, but so this is what I'm thinking. Maybe on a rewatch, I'll see how I change my mind. But so from what I remember, Richie was watching Netflix, and Amber and the kids did leave. But then when they're getting interrogated, Amber's there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And why is she there? And Richie was in his room, and he comes out like, "Oh, are you okay?" And she was like, "I was just attacked."
Oh,
you see what I mean?
Maybe.
And Amber probably stayed behind in the hospital hiding somewhere.
Okay. So then definitely Amber did.
I know Vincent. Richie had to do something.
So Vincent was Amber for sure.
Yeah, had to be.
Because that one was also quick. There was no struggle. It was literally like stab in the neck, you're dead. That's it. Wes and Judy was definitely Richie. Because I think that scene where you see him struggling and then he plummets the knife, I think it's supposed to show that he's a stronger guy.
Maybe.
So I think it was him, and I hear him grunting as well. I think every time we don't hear him grunting, it's Amber for sure. What's another one?
Chad was Amber.
Because
Richie hadn't been there yet.
He wasn't there. He shows up.
Mindy could have been Richie.
Yes,
because he goes to the basement. But. No, it had to be.
But, it was Richie.
But
because Amber was with Tara looking for the inhaler.
Yeah, but then Tara was already tied up.
Yeah, I think Amber did that.
No, Amber did do that, but then Amber, we don't know when she tied up Tara, and then could have went downstairs and attacked her while Richie was in the basement.
Yeah.
I
think it was Richie though. I think it was Richie.
I think Amber did a lot more than Richie.
You could tell that she was the one that wanted to be hands on. And then obviously that's it, right? Because we get the reviews for everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But I think definitely Judy and Wes were Richie. I think, and Dewey, we obviously know that it was Amber.
She confirms it.
Yeah, fucking. I still don't believe that. I would have dropped Kid to her.
That's another thing. No one ever tries to like grab them by the face and unmask them.
There's only in one movie. It's in the
Casey does it in the first one, and the first thing she does is grab his mask and takes it off.
Well, no, in the second movie when they crash, Sidney wants to take the mask off, and everyone's like, "No, don't do it. Forget it." I'm like,
her friend
no.
doesn't let her.
Yeah,
but her in that movie, the script was changed, but her best friend was supposed to be a killer.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Interesting. But yeah, like they always never like go for the mask. Like I would have been like, that's the first thing I would do.
Oh, you trying to grab the knife, grab the face, and unmask them?
Yeah, and that's it.
Because if I die and if people are watching, you're unmasked right now.
Like, what are you gonna do now? What's up? But yeah, that's pretty much.
But I
it.
say that shit, and then it happens, and I'm over here
and then
dying.
he's frozen. He's like, but yeah, best kill was, I think it was Wes.
I'll go with Dewey.
Which I agree with as well. I think that's a very that's a close one for me as well. Is there anything else?
Daddy of the movie.
Daddy of the movie. There's a lot in here.
My favorite, Mindy. Mindy wins my heart.
Amber won my heart. Bro, I would in a heartbeat. I fell in love.
I just love how Mindy was so woke, and even when she was watching the movie, she goes, "Look behind you." She's like, "Hold on."
Yeah, that's true. She was so smart. We didn't mention she's also a LGBT.
Oh
character.
yeah, she's the one and only. Yeah,
I forgot.
She's wearing her little pin, and it's like, "Oh."
Yeah, she's great. Honestly. There was a lot of beautiful people in this movie.
Yeah,
everyone. I was not having a good time because my heart couldn't take it. Everyone was gorgeous. It's true though. Okay, you can't disagree.
There were. That's the whole thing with Scream. It's always a beautiful cast, and I understand. Yes, it is.
I get it.
And I know. I had a crush when I first saw Scream 4. I had a crush on Trevor. I get it.
Oh yeah. Trevor wasn't. I don't know. I'm like.
Well, okay. It was me. It was 17-year-old me, high school gay boy here, and I'm watching Scream 4, and I'm like, ooh. Trevor is. Me, little 17-year-old me was like, oh, he cheated on her, but he's so fine.
He's so fine.
Yeah, so I had a crush on Trevor when I was in high school, and he honestly aged very well.
Yeah, that's true. He had. You know who I really liked in 4?
Who?
Guess.
Olivia.
Jill. I have a thing. I have a type.
You like the crazy ones, I know.
But. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much Scream.
We do have questions for you guys.
Yeah.
So if you're watching, comment down below. So you want to ask?
So let me know who you thought was the killer before going in. Also let me know what you thought when they were finally revealed. If you were happy, mad, excited. Like, what was your reaction when they were finally revealed? Did you already know? Did you catch? Because honestly, Amber, I caught on, but Richie so fucking surprised me.
Yeah, that one really surprised me.
Even though I said it from before the whole thing happened, the trailers and all that, I was like, it might be him. But then, the whole, he's her boyfriend. I was like, it can't be him.
And also, if there's a sequel, what do you think? What do you
want from the sequel? Do you think we're gonna have another repeat of the sequel where one of the Meeks dies, because it is technically for this generation of passing of the torch, the sequel. Oh my god. So you see, I'm now remembering stuff. When Amber dies, her whole thing is that kill the legacy character and I pass on the torch. So she was trying to be the next Gale Weathers. Yeah,
she was.
So this is when she all has the whole hand sanitizer on her face, and Gale's like, oh, well, here's your torch. And that's when she shoots her and, like, she caught on fire. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, yeah. So let us know what killed, what was your reaction when you found out who they were? And then, what do you think the next one will be if they do make another movie? Would you like to see Kirby back? Because I sure do. She was confirmed alive.
She was alive in the recommendation next to the Dead Meat Podcast.
Yeah, she was. On that YouTube.
I wonder, did it say Dead Meat Podcast on the YouTube? I didn't realize.
I didn't read it because because Frankie like tapped me like, Kirby's alive, and then he like look at the corner and you see that Kirby. I was like, yeah.
Oh my god, that's awesome. But yeah, and what did you think about Billy Loomis coming back? That was crazy because I don't know. I was fine with it until it seemed like he was just helping her. It was like a good guy thing.
No.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think that worked until the end. I feel like it could have worked all the way.
It was fine. Her having like these like flashbacks, like him kind of bothering her, but then when it was like him helping her, I don't know how to feel.
Because I feel like he could have just been like, no, you're not supposed to do kill, you're supposed to kill Sidney. Just like maybe see him while they had them on hostage mode.
Yeah.
Maybe he could have been like, okay, join them. It's your turn.
Yeah, kind of like kill for me, like kind of like Jason with mom, like kill for me, and then she just snaps like, no, I'm not you,
exactly. Yeah. Well, she told Sidney, she should have told her daddy.
Exactly. But anyways, Let us know what you think.
Yeah, that is it. And that's it. That's all the episode. That's it.
Yeah, I think if I forget something, I'll mention it in the future.
Yeah, and again, video podcast. Go follow our social media.
Yes.
Go check out our merchandise. We got little pillows if you want some.
They're comfy.
Yeah, they are. They're down below, so go check those out, guys. Please and thank you.
Oh, and happy birthday to one of our listeners.
Oh yeah, happy birthday. Should we mention? I don't know if they want to mention their name.
Happy birthday, Patrick. I won't say last names.
Happy birthday, Patrick. We love you.
It'll be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because technically this comes out Monday.
Yeah.
So Tuesday.
But thank you for your support. We
Thank
really
you for your
appreciate
support,
you.
yes.
Day one fan.
And if you want a birthday shout out, also let us know. I will gladly give you one. I'll sing for you too.
Oh yeah? Sing for Patrick then.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from the Horror Daddies. Happy birthday to you.
That was good.
Thank
wow. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, thank you guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And remember,
it's always someone you know. Carlos?
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
And
Oh my God, it's Carlos! Ah!
Horror Daddies.
See you in your dreams.
Mwah.